Hi everyone. So today we'll be continuing with what we have stopped for our SLS lessons on probability. So please make sure that you have completed your SLS first before you watch this video. Okay? Okay, so let's just do a quick summary of what you have learned in your SLS. So take out exercise book. Let's have this title out first. Okay, chapter 12 on probability of single events. Okay, I want you to make a note that we have completed part of it in SLS. Okay, and then of course the rest we will be running through some examples over here. Okay, so if I'm too fast, just simply pause the video. Yeah. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, just a few key takeaway from the SLS lesson. Okay, so first thing, when it comes to probability, okay, let's say I want to talk about solving for the value of certain event. Okay, the probability of a certain event. I'm gonna say, for example, okay, my first keynote over here. Let me just write down. Okay, probability of any event, okay, as mentioned in the SLS lessons, it will always be between two special number, which is 0 to 1. Okay, so any probability, you realize, let's say your final answer for probability of a certain event is 1.5. Okay, you know the answer is wrong, because the value can only lie between a 0 and a 1. Okay, so it can be like 0.2, 0.3, all the way to, of course, maximum 1. Okay, this is the first point. Second point, okay, in order for us to calculate the probability of certain event, okay, it takes a formula that is, I put the number of whatever events that I want at the top. Later we'll take a look at some examples. Okay, number of favorable events, which is what you want to find out. Okay, let me spell properly. Number of favorable events, okay, which I call the event E, over, okay, your total possible outcomes. Total number of possible outcomes. Okay, full stop. Okay, this is the formula in order for you to find the probability of a certain event. And of course, last but not least, we also know that if I talk about probability of something not happening, okay, I just have to take 1, which is the full probability, minus the probability of that event happening. Okay, because the total maximum for probability is just going to be 1. Alright, okay, so this is just a quick review of what is being covered and some important key points before we move on to the first work example, which is here. Okay, so let's have a look at practice now 6. Okay, I'll give you some time to read the question first. Okay, this question says that you have a box containing 30 paper clips. Some are yellow, some are pink, and the rest are orange. The probability of drawing a yellow paper clip is 2/5, while the probability of drawing a pink paper clip is 1/3. Find the number of orange paper clips in the box. Okay, so a few things for you to take note. Okay, so of course there are a few colors, yellow, pink, and orange paper clip in this case. They mentioned that the probability of drawing a yellow clip is 2/5. Okay, so I'm just going to label above the value yellow. I'm going to write down probability of drawing yellow is a 2/5. Probability of drawing a pink is 1/3. And they want the number of orange paper clip in the box. Okay, so first thing first, the question you need to ask yourself is, for example, okay, if I have yellow, pink, and orange, right, the total probability for me to draw any of the clip, okay, the total probability is always going to add up to be 1. It is always 1, correct? Which means to say, since the chance of drawing yellow is 2/5, the chance of drawing a pink is 1/3. I now can find what is the chance of drawing a orange paper clip, correct? Okay, so look at how I'm going to present. So I'm just going to write down probability, okay, which starts with capital P. So this is how we present probability question. Probability of drawing a orange paper clip, okay, would just be my full total probability minus the remaining chance. Because I don't want it to be yellow, I don't want it to be pink, so that would be 1 minus the 2 probability, and this is going to give you, okay, press your calculator, 4 out of 15. Okay, this is the chance. But question is not just asking you for the probability of orange clip in this case. Okay, they're asking you to find the number. Okay, so if I want to find the number, since I know that the chance is 4 over 15, right? If I want to find the number of paper clips, or to be more specific, number of orange paper clip, I will always have to take the chance, which in this case is 4 out of 15, times my total number. Make sense? Okay, and you're gonna get a sum of a value of 8 orange paper clip. That's it. Okay. Okay, if it's a bit confusing, do make sure you stop the video so that you can rewind if you need to, or just simply play back again for you to understand the question a bit better. Okay, moving on. Okay, let us go to the next example. Exercise 12A, turn to question 13 in page 139. Okay, let's take a look at this is a simple example of problems in real world context. Okay, let me read the question. Okay, this question says, Raju wakes up in the morning and notices his digital clock reads 0725. After noon, he looks at the clock again. What is the probability that the number in column A is a 4? Okay, so first thing, column A, let's take note, is over here. Okay, so there is a context or there is an understanding to this question. Okay, so if this is a digital clock, my first question to you is, for column A, okay, what is going to be this one, the one that I have boxed up for the number 2 in this specific example here. Okay, for column A, what is going to be the range of possible numbers for column A? Think, is it always like 0 to 10 or like 1 to 10? If this is time, right? So it can be 0. Okay, so I have a probability, or I have a sample space, okay, of 0. Sample space simply means everything that is possible for this event. Okay, so I can have 0, I can have 1, 2, I can be 35 minutes, 45 minutes, 55 minutes. Can I have a 6? You don't see the clock to be like 7:60, right? Okay, because 7:60 means 8 o'clock lah. Okay, so I know that my sample space or the possible outcome for column A only can be between 0 to 5. Correct? So that's the first part. So to answer my first part, okay, they want the probability that the number in column A is a 4. So probability that column A is a 4. Okay, I just want the number 4, right? So that is just one choice out of a total of 6. Okay, so this goes back to, okay, let me just go back. The first page, okay, where we talk about this formula here. Correct? Okay, if I want to find the probability of a certain event, I talk about, okay, probability of a certain event, right? I talk about what is going to be my favorable outcome versus what is my total possible outcome. Okay, so I come back to this. 4 is what I want, right? So, but there's only one value of 4 over here. Okay, but my total possible numbers is 0 to 5, and that gives me 6 possible answers. Okay, so my probability of getting a 4 is 1 out of 6. Same concept, we take a look at part 2. Okay, so for part 2, okay, column B is a 8. So we take a look at what are some possible numbers for column B. Okay, so column B is here. Again, I can have 0, right? I can have 20 minutes, correct? It can be 0720, it can be 21 minutes, 22 minutes, 23 minutes, all the way till 28 or 29. Correct? So for column B, my sample space will have to be from 0 all the way to 9, because it's your minute, is your minutes figure. Okay? So for it to be, the probability that column B is a 8. Okay? Again, I just want one number 8, right? Out of a total of 0 to 9. 0 to 9. Okay? Between 0 to 9, please take note that this is a total of 10 numbers. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. There's a total of 10 numbers. So that is 10 possible outcomes. Okay, so if I want 8 only, I only want one answer out of a total of 10 possible outcomes. Okay, so this is the probability of column B being to get a value of 8 in column B. That's it. Okay, we go to part 3. Column the number in column A is less than 6. Okay, so probability that the number in column A is less than 6. So take a look at what are the possible numbers in column A. 0 to 5, right? Yeah, correct. So 0 to 5 is definitely always less than 6. So the probability of A being less than 6 is for sure. So which is why your answer is 1. Okay, 1 means confirm will happen. Okay, maximum probability already. Part 4, number in column B greater than 5. Okay, so probability that the value for B is greater than 5. Greater than 5 simply means, can I take 5? No, strictly more than 5, right? So that would gives me 6, 7, 8, and 9. Because I know B can go from 0 to 9 here, correct? So I know that for it to be more than 5, I can take 6, 7, 8, 9. And 6, 7, 8, 9 means I have 4 choices, again, out of a total of 10 choices, possible numbers here. Okay, over here, there are 10 possible numbers, 10 choices. But I can only take 4 because 6, 7, 8, 9 is 4 choices, right? So my probability is 4 out of 10, and that gives me a value of simplified fraction 2/5. Okay, for probability, always try to leave your answer in fraction as much as possible. Okay, but of course, if it's exact, you can also give it to me in decimal lah. It's not a problem. Okay. Last example for this section, which is question 16. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, similar to what we have done, okay, I tell you that there is a total of 117 shirts in a clothes bin. Probability of getting a yellow and a gray from at random is 2, 9, and 3 out of 13 respectively. Number of shirts in the bin which are neither yellow nor gray. Okay, that means I don't want yellow, I also don't want gray. Very similar to what we have just done. Maybe let me just give you 5 minutes. Okay, you may want to pause the video. Try this question first before you continue the video and check your answers out. Okay, so pause your video first. Okay, so do make sure that you have at least started on the question, okay, before you continue with checking the solution. Okay, so question 1's the number of shirts in the bin which are neither yellow nor gray, right? So coming back to the question, you know that yellow is a 2 out of 9 and a gray shirt is a 3 out of 13. Okay, which means the remaining probability is the probability for the rest is going to be, okay, so probability of getting neither yellow nor gray, that means the rest lah, okay, neither yellow nor gray is going to be, I take 1 minus all this probability, neither yellow nor gray, right? Correct, because yellow is 2, 9, gray is 3 out of 13, so I subtract it away. You end up with a fraction 64 over 117. Okay, this is the probability of the rest of the shirt. But I want to get the number of shirts. Okay, so take note, I'm talking about number of shirts over here. So 64 over 117 is the probability of getting the chance of getting the rest of the shirt, which is neither yellow nor gray, right? But if I want to get the number of shirts, okay, that means I will need to take the probability times the original number for the total number of shirts, and that will give you 64 shirts in total. Okay, I hope you have gotten the correct answer for this part. Okay, this is all for 12.1 and 12.2, where half of it is covered in your SLS. Okay, of course, have any questions regarding SLS, you can always come and see me. Okay, this is the end for the first part. Second video will be on your 12.3 for some examples. Okay, so do proceed to the next video once you are ready. Thank you.